Off they go, bags in tow. Matt and Chrissy hit the road. Maps unfold, stories told. Adventures never getting old. Matt and Chrissy roam so free through the city, past the sea, finding joy in every mile.
G'day, it's Matty from Couple of Sitters, and it is a chilly morning here this morning. We're still in Brisbane, still looking after the puppies, and good start to the day. Got a coffee ready to go, and the van has had a fair bit done to it since the last video. I didn't set the camera up because I was just too zoned in on what I was doing there, and yeah, forgot to actually give you an update, so apologies for that. So let's have a quick look at what we've done so far. Okay, so we have finished prepping the floor. All the anchor points have been puttied up, and we've had some boxes that we've made to cover over the wheel arches, sitting there nice and square and a good distance from each other. So there's plenty of space in here for us to be able to mount the sliding component for the fridge with one of the other drawer sliders on the side, another drawer slider there, and our two 500 or two towers of 500mm drawers there. So I'm not going to walk on the floor at the moment because I've spent a fair bit of time cleaning that yesterday in preparation for the next stage. And the next stage is laying the vinyl. Now again, I rough cut that last night and we got that all ready. So we've got our primer there ready to roll. We've done a bit of work on tidying up the framing around the inspection hatch. That's nice and snug now, really good fit. And yeah, at this point in time, it is going to be prime the floor and then get the glue down. And from there, we're going to drop the vinyl in. So the vinyl that we've got that I rough cut was that 8 square meters for a whopping $100. So let's have a quick look at this here. So this is what we're going for. It's like a really nice ash blonde sort of color, I suppose you'd say. And it's a European manufactured flooring product, which I've never heard of this mob before, haven't done any research on them. And honestly, for what is $100 worth of materials, it feels comfortable underfoot. And honestly, I'm not that worried about who made it and what the specs are behind it. It's a very good looking quality product, and it feels good, and it's going to do the job. So, you know, composite laminate, timber floors, and you know, having the hybrid planking and all that sort of stuff are way too heavy. This is one solid piece, and it's going to go hard up against the edges. We'll laminate over the box. We'll put the vinyl down over the boxes, and that way there's a good seal around everything. And then we're going to have a look at what to do next, which will most likely be, once that glue has gone off and the floor's had 24 hours to set, is to plan the positioning of the drawers and the positioning of the drawer slider over the top of that. I've got some markers set down here for our string line, which line up with the markers that we've got at the back. Bit of motion sickness with this video, spinning around so much. So marked out where the drawer is going to be, 12mm body for the carcass, fridge 12mm, so drawer inside there, fridge slider inside there. Obviously with the carcass on both sides of the fridge slider. Again, another 12mm spacer for the drawer, and another 12mm there as well. So we'll be able to run that down nice and square. That'll run flush with the body of that box there. So what we'll do is, once the solar install's all been done, because they're going to need to fit GPOs and other stuff like that, we'll put the carcass on here, and we'll have an access point for wiring and everything to go through. We'll be plugging a power board into there, and then that way, as the slider runs up and back, we're all in good condition. We may even put that in beforehand and give them access to be able to maybe mount the GPO inside the wall there. Not too sure yet, still thinking that one through. So, going to get into it. We'll see you soon. Okay, we have got the primer down, and this stuff went a lot further than what it said on the packaging. There's 1 litre in there, and the calculations, they say is you should get about 4 square metres of coverage out of it. This area is closer to 6 square metres, 6.5. You take the boxes out of the equation, it might be, you know, fraction of a square metre in there. 1 litre of the Dunlop primer, and I'll put a link to that in the description, covered the entire floor. So this had been sanded and vacuumed, washed, and then vacuumed again before the primer has been put down. Next step, we're going to chuck down the glue and then put the vinyl down. The vinyl's been pre-cut to the size that we needed at. So what I will be doing is I'll be leaving the little inspection hatches. So the little hatch for the spare tyre and the hatch for the fuel filter, they'll be off. And then what I'll do is I'll be able to feel for where they are and map them out, and then just use the Stanley knife and then carefully cut that section of vinyl out, and they'll be able to glue the vinyl straight back on top of these pieces so that that piece matches whatever else there is in there. So it's gonna be a pretty easy process. I'll get the measurements on how far that is from the head back down, so I know roughly where I'm going to be starting, but it should be pretty straightforward. Let's get into it. Well, there we go, vinyl's down. It's about an hour and a half. I'm pretty stoked with that. First time I've ever laid vinyl. There were a couple of bubbles there, so just push them out, and there's a bit of beading that I'll need to do along the edges, but otherwise, I'm pretty happy with how that's come out, considering it's the first time I've done it. All right, gotta do the cleanup now.